There are always two sides to a story, and India is no exception. The White Tiger by Aravind Adiga provides us with the untold story of oppression, one that must be alleviated in order for India to see social change. It is time that the silent majority lower class of India is heard, not only in providing their side, but also illustrating a truth that has been ignored over many years. With the recent economic miracle, India has stopped to admire its achievements. Adiga's tale is a brutal confession exposing the injustices of modern India. The story's protagonist, Balaram Hawaii, tells readers of two different Indias, in one of light, and in one of darkness. Balaram tells a story of how he rose out of poverty from the village of Lakshmanagar to become a successful entrepreneur in Bangalore. He narrates the story through a letter written in 7 consecutive nights addressed to the Chinese premier Wen Jiabao. As the book progresses, we are told of the country's social and political circumstances, Balaram's job and the murder of his boss, committed by Balaram himself. The murder enables Balaram to escape with his master's money to start a new life under a new identity. Although the book is a darkly humorous account of how a lower-class man breaks out of the darkness of India, it challenges the reader to contemplate the truth behind what is being criticized. In a country that is trying to escape scrutiny and sustain its international power, The White Tiger by Aravind Adiga has proven to be a mirror for Indian society, depicting social injustices in modern India. In hopes to promote and spark change, Adiga criticizes corrupt politics, illustrates the dark side of India, and tries to dismantle the discrimination inherent to the social class system. Through examining and exploiting the effects of these 3 social factors, Adiga's novel has become a piece of social criticism, somewhat resembling a social manifesto. One can understand the criticism of India's society by looking at several examples from The White Tiger. When there are problems in a country, the populace quite often turns to their government to provide a solution. However, what becomes of a country when the politicians are easily swayed by greed? Is the solution in the best interests of the majority or the minority of the country? The White Tiger questions these notions by painting a picture of corrupt politicians whose decisions lead to transfers of power from one leader to another, but fail to affect the common man. In the novel, there are several accounts of this very corruption. As the novel progresses, Balaram becomes more and more aware of a relationship between his boss and a minister, in which Ashok's family is bribing the minister with cash to settle income tax accounts. This demonstrates that with money, many laws can be evaded in India. However, these are only connections those of the upper class hold, leaving no option for the underclass to fight the system. The White Tiger also discusses election manipulation and considers typhoid, cholera, and election fever the 3 main diseases of this country, and the last one the worst. Balaram explains how at the same time of elections, a government official was sent to the local schools to record names and ages of the people. More often than not, boys did not know their age, Balaram being one of them. He recounts how the officer forged his age as 18 of legal age so that his vote could count in the upcoming election. Corrupt parties stay in power by using the lower class to their advantage. Moneybags, muscle power, police, strategic alignment of various factions and power to woo the underclass, assure the victory in the political game. Furthermore, when Ashok asks the minister if he needs to work on the elections, he responds, "All wrapped up, it's a landslide. Elections, my friend, can be managed in India. It's not like America." This exposes the somewhat commonly known fact that elections in India can be botched. All this election dishonesty further proves that one of the 3 pillars of modern India, democracy, is not being sustained. The second point that will be discussed is how this novel illustrates the dark side of India. One must look at the lowest class in a country to determine how successful of a democracy it is. The White Tiger goes above and beyond simply observing the status of the subordinate class of India. The author fully immerses the reader into their lifestyle, revealing a scary truth about India's so-called democracy. The dark side of India is where over 600 million people fight a daily war of survival against our harsh environments, including corrupt education and health systems, dowries, and even their predetermined fates. The underclass often lives in an impoverished environment lacking opportunity and resources. Bahram tells of the revolting public education system in the villages of the country where the handful of willing and eager kids fail to get the education they deserve. The reader is told of the circumstances in which the teachers drink at school and are asleep by noon. This criticizes India's intent and ability to educate the next generation. As much as they say the children are the future, they are ignoring over half the population of kids, and this is where the country's literacy rates are being affected. The final topic that will be discussed is the discrimination inherent to the social class system. The White Tiger shows that India can be regarded as a two-class society, solely having an upper and lower, ensuring an acute difference between the two classes of people. To sum up, in the old days, there were 1,000 cases and destinies in India. These days, there are just 2 cases. Men with big bellies and men with small bellies. And only 2 destinies, eat or get eaten up. This quote depicts the extremity of India's society, one that allows a small minority to prosper at the expense of a silent majority. As one class is well-fed, well-educated, lives in a well-ventilated home, and has servants, the other class is undernourished, half-educated, lives on the streets or under flyovers, and are the other class's servants. There is no happy medium, criticizing India's attempt at a democracy where every citizen is equal. The dog-eat-dog world mentally runs rampant in India. Society and the author illustrates the disparity, emphasizing the need for a more balanced class system. He contends that by making sure the upper class isn't so oppressive, the rest of the citizens will realize the opportunities for a brighter future. Adiga comments on it to make a point to the world that India will not prosper until the unrest between the classes is solved. How does India plan to move forward without fixing a prominent problem that lies right in front of it and serves as an impediment to the democratic government it wishes to embody? This is the question that Adiga leaves with the world through the portrayal of India's social society. India's underclass has been left out of its successful growth story. The White Tiger looks to challenge Indian culture to create a society in which every individual is truly free. The practice of hierarchy and social structure is what has kept many people caged in the lower class of India. Through Bahram's story, Adiga tells of the difficulty for a man to escape the darkness of India and emerge in the light. Although the protagonist seems remorseless and immoral, it is perhaps a reflection of the corrupt systems present in India today. India neglects the larger majority of its population, lurking in the darkness, and until it brings the issues of the majority to the forefront, India will never fully be admired as a country in all aspects. One can acknowledge the book as a piece of social criticism, using a story that is relevant to India's current state of affairs. Adiga uses the novel to challenge the legitimacy of India's growth story, questioning whether a country can move forward successfully without fixing the problems that lie within the political and social systems. However, Adiga's social criticism, exposure of the dark areas of India, should be taken positively to cure the sick image of it. If India focuses on eliminating corruption and injustice within the country, it can emerge as a new India, leaving no option other than to attain international approval. But if the change isn't initiated soon, India will find itself with several social entrepreneurs reminiscent of Bahram Hawaii on their hands.